What's going on, you guys? And thank you so much for tuning in for an episode of The Mortgage Mindset. Hey, real quick, I just want to remind you that we do not run any advertising on this show, and we are looking to grow it organically. So we cannot do that without your support. So if you find value in the show, if you got some information that you found really useful, please share the show, send it to somebody that you think might find some value in it as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to The Mortgage Mindset. I'm your host, Trevor Otsuka. I'm a licensed loan originator with Harmony Home Loans out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and the owner of Keyframe Media as well. And today, I've got a very, very special guest for you. He's a very good friend of mine. His name is Dennis. He is the owner of a company here in Vegas called GiftLux, and they are redefining the gift basket delivery space as you know it. They are the only company that I know of that does everything in person with white glove delivery service, really bringing on that luxury experience for your clients. So if you are in real estate, if you are in any industry that services clients, which most of our businesses are, it's a really, really nice touch as a thank you to be able to send a basket like that. So without further ado, here he is. How you doing, brother? Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Honored to be here. Thank you for having me. Honored to be here, seriously.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a minute, right?
It's been a while. It was a thought, right? You told me, and then to see it actually happen and to sit here on the couch with you, man, I know. Honored, blessed. Thank you.
We've been planning the studio build out for really since I joined the team over at Harmony. It's when I met Dennis. He sends the gift baskets for any of my closings for clients anytime they fund a loan. So I really, really appreciate what you do. It's definitely super unique.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I think what you're doing and Keyframe Media, it's pretty awesome, man. So thank you for your partnership and believing in me and trusting me with the gifts.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you familiar with the format of the show?
No, please.
No, a little bit. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is I'm going to run through a really brief market update and kind of say where interest rates are at. Anything that's coming out in economic reports, it does change week to week, and kind of just give insight as to what's kind of coming down the pipe. Then from there, we'll run into an interview segment. I got a bunch of questions for you about business, how you got started, maybe some tips and tricks that you can share with other entrepreneurs that are, scared to dive in and launch their own business. Beautiful. So we'll talk about that. And then we're going to wrap up with a national news article headline. So I'll read a couple of points from the article, and then I'll ask you your opinion on what you think it means.
Beautiful. I love the format, brother.
Yeah? Thanks, man. So we're going to dive right in. We're going to jump into today's mortgage rates. Today is Monday, October 30th. It is 1:34 p.m. So we're about a half an hour away from market close today, but we had a little bit of an increase so far today. So a conventional 30-year fixed is sitting at 7.92%. 15-year fixed is at 7.27%. 30-year jumbo is sitting at 8.04%. 30-year FHA is 7.34%. And then the 30-year VA is pretty much the exact same at 7.35%. If you guys ever want to look up any of this information, the website that I aggregate this from is called Mortgage News Daily. It is tied in with a platform called MBS Live. Shout out to Matt Graham, who runs that. It's definitely a great resource for loan originators to be able to go in there. They have a whole message board. They give a bunch of different econ reports. So we can look at what happened last week. That was pretty big. We had GDP, quarter three, that came out in a report. The previous quarter was at 2.1%, and they were forecasting 4.3. It actually came in a little higher than that at 4.9. So usually that's an indicator that the economy is doing really well. But then on the other side, you have core PCE, which is an indicator of inflation. They forecasted 3.7. The previous was 3.9, and it actually came in revised at 3.8, splitting the difference. So it is declining, which shows that we are having some deflationary events. But then at the same time, GDP is showing that the economy is still humming along really strong. As far as what's coming up this week, really big week this week. So we don't have anything that happened in econ data today. Tomorrow, we have employment costs for Q3. Wednesday, we have ISM manufacturing PMI. You also have really the biggest ticket item that we're watching for the week is the Fed in their interest rate decision. So they have been speculating that they're not going to continue doing rate hikes temporarily. They're going to pause, probably close out the year like that. Maybe there might be another quarter of a point coming down the pipe towards the end of the year. We won't know for sure, though. That's going to happen tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm sorry, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then on Friday, also huge, you have non-farm payrolls. This has absolutely crushed us in the past with some big misses. They were projecting that there was going to be less jobs, and then it came in that a bunch of people were getting jobs. So we definitely had a miss earlier this year on that. Unemployment rate month over month for October as well, and then ISM non-manufacturing PMI for the month of October. All three of those are happening on Friday. So Friday, we could have dramatically different interest rate market on Monday.
Wow, really big day, huh? Friday.
Yeah, Friday is huge, man. And you know, when you look at these reports, these are things that come out every single month. Every single month, every week, we have different data points that they're looking at that'll impact the bond market, impact treasuries. I think that let's look at the treasury yield right now. The 10-year is at 4.886, which is climbing. And there's speculation that we might actually get all the way up to 5. So if that happens, rates are going to get worse.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very detailed.
Yeah. So are you learning a lot more about like real estate and all that stuff just from the relationships that you're making through your business?
I am. I'm always around it. So I always just get into these conversations, you know, and it's always good to know and to hear different perspectives. I just had a meeting with a realtor right now.
Yeah.
And she was talking to me about making sure the buyer's educated.
Yeah.
She's like, I got to make sure they're educated. And she had a buyer that, a potential client that was a TikTok influencer.
Really?
Yeah. So she's like, I don't know how I feel about that. So she passed on because she didn't want to work with the TikTok influencer because she didn't want to set them up for failure. She's like, yeah, they might be good at TikTok right now, but I don't want to get them a home. And then they like aren't able to pay for it later on. So I don't think that's a really
she didn't think that the income would be
sustainable enough.
Yeah.
So I mean, most agents will be, oh yeah, let's get you into the house, you know. But
Right.
to see her genuine approach, I said, oh, I respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking out for them.
So for those that are listening that don't know you, obviously a lot of people that I'm connected with, you know, I'm in the real estate market in Las Vegas. We have a lot of the same connections, and they all know who you are. For those that are listening that don't know who you are, tell them a little bit about who you are, how GiftLux came into existence, and you know, your reason why you started the company.
Okay, so my name is Dennis. I'm the owner and founder of a GiftLux company. We're a high-end gift basket delivery company. Everything is delivered in a suit and white gloves as a standard. We started during COVID, and man, it was a journey. It was a really big journey. And let me go back and say that we started at Aria. Actually, we opened Aria, day one employee, and I started there in room service as a bus person. So whenever you order room service, they bring you a little table. It was my job.
Yeah, the rolling cart.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, a Gurdian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my job to just walk the hallways, push those tables to the dishwashing room. Like, that's all I did.
Yeah.
You know, and I was pretty good at it, I guess. You know, I always try to perfect whatever craft it is that I'm doing. I try to be the best at it.
Want to be the best.
I want to be the best. So I was bored, though. I realized that I was bored doing that, and it wasn't challenging for me. And luckily, within that time period, I had the Villa Services manager reach out to me and say, hey, you're interested in an assistant butler position.
Nice.
And I said, sure. Yeah, I could try that. You know, I took it on, but I didn't know anything about it. Not one thing. I didn't know anything. It's different. That type of clientele from the person that just stays at Villas is just completely different. They expect, you know, the 5 first girls. And, you know, you have to know your mother's sauces. And it's just very, very detailed. And I knew nothing about it, you know. So,
did you have any restaurant experience in the past?
Absolutely none.
Man, so learning for those of you that don't know, the 5 mother sauces, they're the bases for pretty much every sauce that you're going to have in a restaurant, for Italian food, for French food. Do you remember them all?
Bechamel, velouté, espagnol, hollandaise, tomato.
Let's go. Bro, when I was working in food and beverage in the past, anytime you were going into a fine dining restaurant, occasionally they would ask you that. And you're like, well, I work front of house. I don't even work in the kitchen. They don't give a shit. They want to know that you know all of those things and that you can learn them. Same thing with like wine and spirits. So
first growth. So
how's your wine and spirits knowledge then?
It got better. It got better for sure. Wine, it got better. You know, the 5 first growths or the Grand Premier Cru. Yep. I needed to learn all of that, taste all of that. You know, so it was pretty interesting. I'm not an expert. I'm not a sommelier or anything, but
Right.
I can hold my own.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you have your favorites?
Um,
Personal consumption.
Silver Oak.
Silver Oak. Okay.
Silver Oak, Napa Valley, not Alexander Valley. Has to be Napa Valley.
Got it.
Silver Oak for sure. I also like, man, what was it? Ackerman.
Okay.
Ackerman is really good, and Opus one's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Man, you like some heavy hitter wines.
Yeah, yeah. It was always there, like in the villas. It was always there, you know. So,
So
what's
you
your
always got to
favorite?
taste. Ooh, that's a great question. I love Pinot Noir. So
you do?
yeah, anything that's out of Willamette Valley. There's one particular producer called Domaine Serene.
Yes, I know who that is.
Yeah, Domaine Serene makes some really good stuff. They have one that's a Yam Hill Cuvée is what it's called. And then they also have one that's called Evanstad Reserve. Both of those are gangster. What else do I really like? Malbecs are great.
Yes.
Yep. Anything out of Mendoza, Argentina. You can't go wrong with those. And, you know, believe it or not, even though I was a somm, like, I don't particularly love like French Bordeaux.
You don't like French Bordeaux?
I don't know. I could never. It's so much different of a flavor profile characteristic than New World wine. Old World wine, you know, the soil types are just so different. The way that they're structured, way more earth driven. A lot of mushroom notes. A lot of like the, I think they're called perzines, where it's the like bell pepper notes that are in the wines.
Yes.
I don't love those. I really don't.
It gives it that bitter
Except
taste.
I would say that Polony Montrachet.
Okay.
Yeah, which is it's actually a Chardonnay is the
Yes.
grape that's used to make that.
Yes.
Burgundies are so gangster, dude. Really good. Yeah, once you get up into the upper levels of white Burgundy, super nice.
Really? I know I can.
I'll get you some.
Okay.
I'll get you some
Oh,
so you
man.
can try it.
I'm excited.
It'll blow your mind. You're gonna be like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Dude, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So you were in Butler Services. And then what happened? How did you end up leaving Butler Services and then starting the company?
So yeah, I was an assistant butler and I didn't know, so I needed to study, right? So
Right.
I would go to the library, man, and I'll go on YouTube and I would like
All self-study?
self-study.
You didn't take any courses or
I
anything?
took courses that they provided at like work at Aria. They provided courses every Wednesday. They would have a wine class or a spirits class. So I would sign up for
All of them.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd stay there. I would go home and I'll study. And my wife, I'll be at the dinner table with my big ass wine book, you know. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I gotta get better. I gotta get better at this, you know. So it got to a point where I felt comfortable. I just felt comfortable. But then you look at service, you know, how to serve Indian style as opposed to Chinese style, as opposed to the placemats, where the silverware goes. Like it's all an art, you know. Everything really is an art in that. How are you gonna serve left, right, you know, how are you gonna pour the wine? It's all beautiful. Really, it really is nice once you like really see it done properly. You're like, wow, you know,
That's part of the test when you're getting certified as a somm is table service.
Oh,
That's what they
really?
call it. Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you do blind tasting. There's a certain number.
Sounds hard.
It's very difficult. Yeah. So you have to do blind tasting on whites, blind tasting on reds. That's part of the exam. There's also a written exam. And then you have to do table service for master sommeliers. So they're
intimidating.
they're watching everything that you do, the way you cut the foil, the way that you put the corkscrew into the cork. Like they watch everything, the way you pour. They even have dialogue with you at the table, like they're in a restaurant dining and they're asking you questions about the wine. Yeah, and you have to make a recommendation to them. Like it's crazy.
I did not know it was like that.
Yeah.
So it's like a panel to get
It's
certified?
intense, dude. Yeah. If you're a certified somm, you basically have a self-taught bachelor's of wine and spirits. That's the way that I look at it.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
And
way to
then
look at it.
the level after that, which is level 3, masters. And then if you get all the way to a master somm level, I mean, you basically have a doctorate in wine. You know everything. You know soil types, you know geographical regions, you know the estuaries and the rivers that run through the countries, you know the mountain ranges, you know the major producers, you know how they make the wine, you know the difference between still fermentation versus aging in oak. Like there's just so many things.
How difficult is that?
It's hard, dude.
bet.
I think in master sommeliers, last I checked, there was only 300 in the world, to give you some perspective. Yeah, so I mean, you meet a master somm, that's like, hats off to you, bro.
Seriously, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
Wow, I didn't know it was like that.
Those kinds of people become like ambassadors of like Krug,
Okay.
you know, and all they do is they just they go to restaurants, they sell Krug, they go to events, or they run entire wine programs for restaurants. Yeah.
They make well. They do well for themselves.
And they get to drink great juice all
Right?
the time.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah. So you're studying your butt off.
Oh, I was studying my butt off, and then I was just trying to get better, you know. And then it got to the point where I got offered a part-time butler position,
Okay.
and then I got a full-time butler, and I wasn't trying to be a lead butler, but then they were just showing me P&Ls, and they were just like, "Hey, Dennis, come here, let me show you this." You know, the director, a new director at the time. So I said, oh, "Okay, thank you, thank you." Hey,
Was the director like a mentor for you?
she was, to a certain extent. She was. She believed in me. You know, I never asked for it, but she always just believed in me for some reason. You know, so she retired, but before she retired, she did make me the lead butler.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So she made me the lead butler, and I worked with her for a good year, and then I believe she's in Dubai now.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a life change.
I know, but thanks to her, like, you know, we got to where we were, and to be honest with you, I was never an entrepreneur. I never really set myself out that way. I always wanted to be the best, you know. So like the way life happened was, you know, I'm working and I have an obstacle in front of me and I'm just going to try and tackle it. Then I get another one and I'm going to try to tackle that, you know. But to me personally, go out to look for it, like no, it's just something that kind of came across me, you know. But then now I was the lead butler and COVID happened. So
Right.
COVID's here, you know, and I'm always focused on like, obviously doing good or trying to get better, you know. And I have 3 months of doing nothing. I was furloughed. I didn't do anything. So at that point, I said, I know that one of the things that we did was gift baskets for the clients.
Okay.
So the guests will come in and they'll have a basket ready. And I knew who the distributor was for the baskets, the crinkle wrap, the shrink wrap, everything. I knew everybody was. So I'm like, but I did need some help. So I reached out to the chef at Aria. And then I told him, hey, chef, who's your distributor for this?
Right.
He's like, it's so-and-so. Okay, who's the distributor for this? Dennis, what are you trying to do? So then I told him, I want to start my own company. He's like, okay, what are you trying to do? I said, a gift basket delivery company, but like have it delivered in a soon white gloves. He kind of just stopped and said, holy shit, Dennis, that's crazy. He's like,
Yeah.
that's such a cool niche. That's different. You know, like, oh, thanks, you know. So he helped me out with that. And every so often he would like go into my office. How's the business doing? How's GiftLux?
You still friends with the chef?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah,
Is he still at Aria?
He is still at Aria.
Okay.
Yeah. He runs.
Have you delivered a basket to him yet?
No. We have the same basket. I don't want to deliver one to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He runs the in-room dining over there. Yeah. Good guy. Lauren.
Okay.
You know, but then right after that, I just kind of was obsessed. That was my new obsession. You know, instead of wines or anything like that, how can I build this? How can I grow this? You
Are
know,
you still obsessed?
every day. Yeah. Every day. Even more now, you know, surprisingly. I'm tired. I don't spend a lot of time with the family, but bro, like it just I don't know. It's a fire that you just want to go out there and just like win, you know?
Do you think it's because it's yours?
Yes. Yeah, a big portion of it, absolutely. If it wasn't mine, then you're not going to go as hard, you know, but it's an idea. You know, this is an idea that I kind of put together and it's like coming to life.
How's the response been in the community?
You know what? Good and bad. Bad at first, you see, because people are like, a gift basket, what? But it's not your typical gift basket, you know? Yeah, anybody can do it. You have agents that are like, I don't want to pay for one because I could do one. You know, you have agents that say that and respects to them. If you could do that, that's good. You know, good for you. And there's people that are like, there's a lot of those out there, but there's none out there like ours. You know,
Yeah.
I know that. So once people actually see that and once they like actually get it through their heads what it really is, like, oh man, the last thing you think about is the gift basket.
Yeah.
Like that's the extra icing on the cake. It's everything else, and at the end it's like the gift basket. You know, it's like the whole experience. And then you're like, oh, and I got this gift.
Yep.
It's the way it's like viewed. So now people are like, wait a minute, this is really cool. So the response on it now is just, it's fantastic, really.
Yeah. I see you all over the place lately on social media, right? Like we're friends on Instagram. Why don't you tell the audience, like, how much of your success so far have you attributed to social media exposure?
Like 95%. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, it's honestly a great platform to get started on a business. If you're an entrepreneur, don't really know where to start, you want people to look at your business, where else would you do banners or flyers? Social media is pretty much free. Just go out there, add some friends, and start just promoting. But social media is really 95%. Every so often, we would just get email orders from the website,
Okay.
but mostly everything would come. And actually, we're getting more and more now from just the website. But TikTok and Instagram is
Do you have videos on the website that kind of show you doing a delivery?
no, not on the website.
Oh, you might have to do that.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on a new photography session. We're going to revamp the website soon.
Nice.
So we have our director of marketing, and she's also a delivery ambassador for us, and she's actually looking into that right now.
Sweet. What's next for you?
Next for us is roses.
Phase 2.
Phase 2.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, phase 2. Phase 2 is roses. So we're working on that. We're trying to
Like
perfect
full
it.
floral or just roses?
Just roses.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to do full floral.
Okay.
Just roses. For us, it's gonna be finding it. We're still trying to finalize it. So we're trying to figure that out, and we're trying to get that out as soon as possible. That's going to be phase 2. I think once we do phase 2, that's going to hit the general public. That's going to be just a game changer for the city of Las Vegas.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think once we start marketing that, we're going to put that on some magazines. And once we start going hard with that, that's just going to change everything.
So walk me through it. If I'm a phase 2 client, why would I be calling for a phase 2 delivery? Like, what would that look like?
Because I've ordered roses, and they left them off of my door. Okay. And my wife picked it up from a box that was there, and she opened it up, and she said, "Oh, these are pretty." That's exactly what happened. It was her birthday. So I said, "Happy birthday, babe," whatever. But that was that. With us, we're not going to do that. For us, it's going to be everything's delivered. We don't leave anything at the door. So for us, it's going to be a whole experience.
So it's a physical handoff.
It is.
Of the floral arrangement.
And a suit and white gloves. So your wife, girlfriend would get a formal delivery.
Nice.
Yes.
Man, that's going to...
Along with the card that we customize. And the cards alone are waxed and stamped with our logo on it.
Really?
Yeah, everything that we do is waxed and stamped.
Man, I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thank you.
What about after that?
After that, we're going to do phase 3. Phase 3, we're looking into like next year. But that's going to be chocolate covered strawberries.
Nice.
But in a tuxedo format. The format.
Like white and black?
Yeah, white and black.
Will it actually have like the little stripes in the middle? Let's go.
Yeah, that's going to be phase 3. So at that point, we're looking at gift baskets, we're looking at floral, and we're looking at chocolates.
Oh my gosh.
So,
you're going to take over.
Yeah, that's the goal. I really believe it. The whole point will be, I think Las Vegas will be easy at that point, really. I think Las Vegas will be easy to handle at that point. It'll be about expanding to the U.S. Where else can we go? It has to be a city that is not heavy in traffic, that we can get a lot of volume in, that it's going to be easy. Salt Lake City, maybe even Phoenix. I don't know how the traffic is there right now. San Diego has to be big, but not too big enough to make an impact, So, yeah, there's franchises opportunities available. So if somebody does want to, like, jump in on the business, we'll have a whole training on them on how to properly do a delivery, because we don't just drop off the baskets. Every basket, and I know you've seen it, all the items get introduced. You showcase everything in the basket, and the whole idea is that you keep something in the house. That's the mentality behind GiftLux. You go to Sam's Club, Costco, you're going to get a gift basket there, but it's all fillers, and at the end of the day, you're not going to keep anything because it's mostly snacks. So for us, you're going to have tequila package, has the cutting board, has the glasses. You're always going to keep that there. The box that we use that box specifically with the logo because you're going to keep it. People don't throw that away.
Yeah, the boxes are nice.
Yeah. I seen coffee stations in them. People put their keys like in a landing area. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, and guess what? The name's always in the house. So you're always going to have GiftLux.
That's smart.
Ideally, and then the same thing for the person that ordered it, for the recipient. They're always going to remember who got it. If you gave me a basket, I'll say, "Oh, so-and-so got me this." My name's already going to be on it. GiftLux is already on it, but they're also going to remember who got it for them.
Yeah. So how many years are you in now?
It's going to be 3 years. This coming a couple of days, actually. Yeah, 3 years.
Congratulations, brother.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. What a journey.
During that journey, I imagine that it's been pretty hard getting everything up and running. Did you ever have any points where you thought maybe this won't work, and those thoughts of like maybe I should do something else or I'm gonna quit kind of came into your mind that you had to push through?
Yeah, I did. So we started in like November and July where we first, like 8 months in. So you start a business, and like friends and family, and then you have like a delivery from a friend, a family member reaches out and says, hey, so we were doing like 1 or 2 baskets a month from friends and family,
Okay.
but you can only do that for so long, and they're only going to order for so long.
Right.
Because you only have so many people. I wasn't networking, and I didn't know as many people. Nobody knew about us then. So that month of July kind of was very dry. Absolutely dry. Not one person called, not one order, so
Not a single order for the entire month
of July, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was difficult for me because you have to push through, So I think and I think every entrepreneur goes through it. That's the point where you either make it or you kind of leave it,
Right.
So you keep going. And for me, I just said, oh, well, I don't lose anything by just posting, So I was just posting on social media, but man, it was so hard. Like mentally, that's when it gets to you. Mentally, you will want to quit. Mentally, you're like, oh, people aren't interested. Like, no, like you get all these negative thoughts.
Of course.
So I'm like, oh, maybe I should do something else. I'm wasting my time. Oh, I just wasted so and so much money, But no, I just kept pushing through it. Really, just kept pushing through it. And August came on, and I got a delivery for August, and it just kind of rolled on to a little bit more and a little bit more, and we're pretty busy where we are now. But yeah, that month of July, mentally, it was very hard.
If you had any tips for a new entrepreneur that's looking to start a business, what's the one greatest tip that you could give them?
Don't give up. Just don't give up, because everybody, there's going to be plenty of reasons to quit. Yeah, there's going to be less reasons to keep going. But yeah, trust yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we're going to roll on to the next segment of the section.
Let's go.
And this is going to be an article that you found. This is from Housing Wire. So the title of the article, here's the headline: "The Upside of 8% Mortgage Rates?" ? More inventory is what it says. So here we go. It says, "If I had told you on December 31st, 2022 that mortgage rates would hit 8% in 2023, you would reasonably assume housing inventory would skyrocket higher. Home prices would fall noticeably, and the number of price cuts would be higher year over year. Instead, the opposite has happened. Home prices nationally hit an all-time high. Inventory is still down year over year, and the percentage of price cuts is 4% below last year's level. However, at least on the inventory front, 8% rates are starting to make a difference, and we could be on the verge of active inventory being flat or even higher than last year." That's a good sign. It says weekly housing inventory data. "Even though I haven't been able to hit my target level of 11,000 to 17,000 weekly inventory growth levels in 2023 with higher rates, it is clear that higher rates are doing their traditional work in creating more inventory growth by slowing the market down. However, the weekly active inventory is still negative year over year, and a big reason why is that we are working from a higher base of inventory. So naturally, the slope of the curve is slower because existing home sales aren't crashing like they did last year. Last year, the seasonal peak for inventory was October 28th, according to Altos Research. With mortgage rates near 8% and the growth rate of inventory picking up, it looks like the inventory peak will happen later this year."
Oh, nice.
Okay, here's some bullet points it has in here. It says weekly inventory change, October 20th to October 27th. Inventory rose from 554,350 to 562,556, so almost a 10,000 increase. Same week last year, inventory rose from 571,944 to 578,089, so very, very small. It's only 7,000. So we're actually showing an increase this year compared to last year, which is great. The inventory bottom for 2022 was 240,000. The inventory peak for 2023 so far is 562,000, so more than double. The context active listings for this week in 2015 were 1,169,130. There's a couple of charts on here. I'll link this article in the podcast description for you guys. Moving on to the next part. It says, once again, we had another week of high mortgage rates, but the new listing data was unfazed. While new listings are still trending at the lowest levels ever recorded in history, we are forming a bottom in this data. The real test will come in the spring and early summer months of 2024 to see if we can get some increases year over year with merit. On CNBC recently, I brought up the premise of new listing data bottoming out and that we should see some flat to positive data soon in this data line. A lot more charts on this as well. It says traditionally, 1/3 of all homes have price cuts before they sell. When rates rise and demand gets weaker, the percentage of homes with price cuts can grow. Now, the crazy stats for 2023 says, even with higher home prices and higher speeds, not only is inventory still negative year over year, but the price cut percentages are still running 4% below last year. So it says 2023 price cuts are 39%, 22 was 43%, 21 was 28%. Mortgage rates in the 10-year. It says mortgage rates stayed elevated this week as the 10-year yield stayed close to the yearly high. Right now, mortgage for the 10-year Treasury yield is just over 4.8. So it says, however, on a good note, if you're looking for one, we didn't see a new yearly high in the 10-year yields this week or a new high in mortgage rates. We did close below 4.87%, so I just told you, on the 10-year yield, which is crucial for me. We just need to see some follow-through, bond buying to break below this upper range in the 10-year yields. So this is a pretty interesting article. I'll link this to you guys. It goes on to talk a little bit about what's coming up, which is Jobs Week this week. We already covered that earlier in the show. And the Fed with their interest rate decision, if they're going to pause or if they're going to actually move forward with another hike. So what do you think? You talk to a lot of agents. I'm sure that your network of real estate agents is growing week by week. Do you have conversations about how interest rates are kind of impacting their business?
That one said the upside of 8%, and it's always like the downside of 8%, so I always think upside, why? But yes, inventory is a big reason. Inventory volume is up, with more options for the buyers, really for the people that do want to buy a house or are able to buy a house.
Correct.
So that's very, very interesting. Everybody's negative about it.
Yeah, I think that if we see inventory continue to increase, like more properties coming into market, it'll be better for buyers, right? Because now they're going to have a greater incentive to go in and negotiate. We still have programs available like temporary buy downs where you're getting seller contribution and the seller is basically paying for you to have a lower interest rate for the first up to 3 years. So that can make a dramatic impact on home affordability. Like I have one that I'm lining up right now. She has enough seller credit. She's going to pay for a 3-2-1 buy down. So the whole first year, her payment rate is 3% lower than what we would qualify her for. So she'll be in the low fives, high fours, which is crazy. So that's going to make a pretty big difference. Yeah. So there's still a lot of options that are available. I think that you just really got to make sure you're working with an experienced agent that really knows how to negotiate, right? You got to have a bulldog in this current market. Yes. Right.
Let me ask you, the interest rates went down because of COVID, right? That's the way they went. What was it, 3%, 2% during that time?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing VA IRRRLs, which is an interest rate reduction refinance loan. All you're doing is you're just sliding down the interest rate for the veteran borrower. 1.99% was the lowest that I got at one point.
Have you ever seen it that low?
Never. I think that it was artificially done because they wanted to stimulate spending in the economy. And now we're paying the repercussions of that. We're also paying because of them printing money. They're spending money like absolute maniacs.
Yeah, I agree.
They're sending hundreds of billions of dollars everywhere else except for here. So even if the Fed increases rates, we're not doing anything about spending, and spending is a contributing factor to inflation. So we're kind of in this like weird hamster wheel.
I agree. I seen the interest rate were as high as like 17%. And what was it, like 90s?
In the 80s, I think.
80s? Mm-hmm. How can it get so high? That's a huge interest rate.
Yeah.
Double what it is now.
Yeah. You also have to take into consideration what the median average house price was at that time compared to now.
Okay. See, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So you're looking at 17%, and maybe property values at that time were 100K, 150K. Whereas now the median average sales price in Las Vegas is probably around like 450 the last time I checked. So 8% on 450. That's a huge difference. It's a big spread. So I think we have to take into consideration, like what is the price of the property along with the rate, because they go hand in hand. You can't just look at one. You have to look at both.
Makes a lot of sense, man. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That explains the 17%.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I think this year will be pretty interesting. We're moving into an election year. There's going to be a lot of volatility with everything that's happening, just like there always is. There's so much controversy that's always happening. So
yeah,
Always.
I hope it goes lower though, for sure.
Me too, man.
And I hope we get more inventory.
I hope that we have in an ideal market, if we were a little bit more balanced with inventory, if rates were a little bit lower, because first time home buyers right now are really the ones that are feeling the squeeze, right? They're just getting priced out of the market. You have to make a pretty decent income, even as a collective household right now, if you have debts, right? If you have credit card payments, if you have car loans, if you have student loans just went back into repayment. So there's a lot of variables that go into all that.
Let me ask you a question. Downey, I seen a regular house in Downey, California, 3-bedroom that was like $960,000.
Okay.
Okay, and you're talking about 1,300 square feet. California yard, nothing too crazy. For $960, do you see Las Vegas homes going to that price point?
Getting up that high?
Yeah.
1,300 square feet, 3.2?
Yeah.
3 bedrooms, 2 baths? Maybe. Probably won't happen for a while though. The thing with Vegas, if you look at everything that's happening on the commercial side, we're blowing up.
Yes, that's true.
Fountain Blue just finally got finished, right? They're going to be opening,
on November,
just this coming month, right?
And then Durango Station.
Durango Station is opening up. So Stations Casinos has kind of revamped the direction that they want to go. They want to have basically Red Rock equivalents all over the valley. They're not going to do any lower level, lower tier quality hotels and casinos anymore. They're going to move more into that luxury kind of space. So I think that's going to be big. Formula One also is here. They have their first race next month. I think the Oakland A's are officially coming here. So we'll have professional baseball. And then Seattle and Las Vegas were tapped for an NBA expansion. So if we get an NBA team, dude, I mean, it's over. Mark Wahlberg also moved his whole family out into Summit in Summerlin.
He had a GiftLux delivery, by the way.
You delivered him?
Yeah.
Did personally?
He wasn't there.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
He doesn't take deliveries.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Who did you deliver to?
The estate manager.
Estate manager?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Crazy, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he openly stated publicly he wants to make Vegas Hollywood 2.0. He wants to move all of the studios here, probably open his own production studio, So if we end up getting Hollywood here, dude, we're just going to get pumped with so much private money that's going to come into the city. It's going to be crazy.
Universal Studios has that next to Area 15 that they're doing too. They bought land there.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, they're supposed to do like a year-round horror attraction.
What? Oh, actually, I did see an article on this. Yeah, I think, who was it? Las Vegas Living Locally. They have an Instagram page, and they're always posting things that are happening in Vegas. They do a lot of meme stuff too.
Oh, they do good.
Yeah.
Isn't it also a MLS team? I think we're about to have an MLS team too, and I think they're
soccer.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
And I think they're supposed to be off of North Las Vegas.
What is Los Angeles' team? Galaxy? Los Angeles Galaxy?
There's 2 of them, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think there's a black one, and I think there's a white one, like colors. But I know Galaxy is one. But yeah, man, I mean, I think Vegas is growing.
I think we have the potential to get there.
Yeah.
I think it's really just going to be a matter of where's this current market going to go. If let's say that inventory doesn't stabilize and then rates come down, you're going to have a ton of new buyers that are coming back into the market. I think even if rates get to 6%, right now we're at around 8%. So 2% lower at 6%. They're probably gonna have so many new buyers coming in, and if we don't have inventory for them to move into, bidding wars will come back, and then property values will get inflated again.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up overpaying for the property, and then what's gonna happen at the tail end of that market? Are those property values gonna come back down once inventory restabilizes? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, exciting if you own a house.
Yes, I would say if you own a property or if you can get into a property right now, I think that if, you might have to just bite the bullet and say, hey, okay, like this first property is not going to be our dream home, but it'll allow us to leverage into that dream home. Correct. Because if we have 10% equity growth over the course of the next 5 years, where are you going to get a return like that anywhere else?
You're not. You can't.
Probably not going to get it anywhere else, and if you can sell that property at that time, roll that equity into the new house, while rates are lower, and you probably have pretty much the same payment for a bigger property, that could be the move. So a lot of people don't think about that. They think about the short term.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great if you are already in a home or about to own a home, or if you can't get into a home before all of that happens, because I do think it's going to go up. The equity is huge. Mm-hmm. The equity can really set you up. The whole family, getting into a home is very, very, very big.
Yep.
It sets you up financially so well.
Yep. real estate has made more millionaires than any other asset class.
For a reason, honestly. Yep. It's always good. I own several houses, and I need to get more, you know. My goal is to leave each kid a house, you know. So I have 3 kids. And
how many houses do you have?
We have 2 houses.
2, okay.
Yeah, so I need to get one more. So my goal is to always just give each kid.
Do you have property in California?
No, I have no property.
It's all here?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I need to get one more at least. Ideally 2 more, but one more for sure.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll help you do it. Yeah.
Let's go.
All I need is 2 years tax returns, baby.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
No, I'm kidding. All right, brother. Any closing thoughts that you want to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Yeah, our Instagram and TikTok tag our GiftLux company, GIFTLUX company. No E on that.
No E on the end. I see a lot of people put the E on there. Yeah. I don't know if it's like luxury real estate. They're doing goofy luxe, you know, like, I don't know, goofball shit.
And also our website is thegiftluxcompany.com. thegiftluxcompany.net.
Nice. Yeah. Thegiftluxcompany.net.
Yes, correct.
Cool. I'll get all that information from you too, and I'll post it in the comment for when this goes up live. So I'll post this later tonight. Cool, guys. That's going to wrap it for today. Brother, I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate
I'm
you,
really
man.
excited
Honored.
for the growth of your company and getting out there and continuing to network with you, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next episode.